1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello, William.
How are you this week, sir?
I am grand. I can sit in this. We're moved about a wee bit this week because of unrest
Yes.
in the country of Ireland.
We've been forced out of our podcast studio in Northern Ireland. Isn't that shocking?
No, it's Ireland.
What?
It's Ireland.
News to me.
Ah!
News to me. No, yeah, we genuinely were. We were recording before. We can't record now. And why is that, Patrick, for those who are uninclined, who don't know?
Because there's wee lads out in the street orchestrating violence with violins and flutes, and they're burning buses because they can't go to school on them, and that's what started it. Somebody stole a packet of potato in Tullycarnet on a UDA man, and they were bought off a UVF man, and then that kicked it all off. Well, that's what I was told.
No, that's a lie. We don't sell Tato in Tullycarnet.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Yes, you
We
do.
sell only Watsits because they're the only orange crisp. It's only Watsits. That's it. Yeah. So we're gonna start off the podcast by saying this. We have had a lot of questions talking about wanting us to talk about the riots, go through it a bit. How do you feel about that, Paddy?
Look, I understand why kids do it. I was involved in many riots myself, and I know I'm not. It's a bit strange you're asking me that question, and I look like an Ardoin youth worker dressed tonight, but it's genuinely kids are going to get involved in it. It's fun, and they think it's great crack, and they run out and do it. So I get why they're doing it. But they shouldn't.
Stop where I thought you were. I thought you were going to give it the whole "we don't condone this" and we're not for it. Instead, he's just like, "It's fucking fun. It is good crack."
William, there's a photograph of me in the middle of a riot on top of a peeler jeep. So I'd be a hypocrite to turn around and
It was
say
only like a
anything.
year ago
But
as well.
Yeah, but no, I don't condone it, and I feel shit for the kids because the kids don't know what they're getting themselves in. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing they're involved in.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a lot easier now. I'm watching the riots now. Like the cops definitely aren't as hard line as they were when we were younger. Like
No, they'll
I get shot in the hole, a rubber bullet, like
right in the also.
right in the cheek.
Oh,
I have a rubber bullet.
what's a rubber bullet feel? I know you have a rubber bullet in the house, but I'm going to ask you about that.
Told
Came from
your
Love
mummy
Honey.
not to tell you about that. But yeah, no, it's a rubber bullet. It's about double the size of a big thick battery,
Right.
lengthways, so maybe about 4 inches. And it was cream in colour, the one I got shot with. And it's hard, like it's hard plastic, like it's not.
Like, is there anything you've been hit with is as sore as a rubber bullet?
My ma's slipper.
Your must
No, a big hard
the
slipper.
PS and I are sitting there all regular like get his man. The rubber bullets aren't
I don't know
stopping.
about you, but my ma, she would throw the slipper at you, right? Or whatever she had the hand.
Yeah.
Mostly was a slipper, right?
Yeah.
And then she used to go, bring it back. Like, so maybe she threw it the first time and it wasn't a good shot, so she went, bring it back.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, the slipper, and like stretching as far as I could.
So you can.
Yeah, and you weren't allowed to grab it in front of her, and then she used to grab it and fucking beat you with.
My mom would adjust whatever was in her hand is what you're getting hit with. So if she had your homework diary in her hand, you're getting hit with a homework diary. If she had a spoon in her hand, you're getting hit with a spoon. So I tried to have all arguments
That's
near
maybe
pillows.
all they need to do.
Yeah,
Just go and get all the masks, go down the rats, and go right, go and get your own kid.
that's it. I know people. You're not.
Just all these masks stand behind the peeler chips, fucking slippers, fucking papers and pawns, and fucking get it fucking up, you bastard. Plus the gear they wore now.
Yeah.
Fuck me, they're all in fucking top lane, fucking North Face jackets, and
They're all. I'm jealous of what they're wearing. Like they're all kitted out the fuck.
you could see some wee guys sitting going, "I swear I'm not going out in this Reebok. I'm not going out in this Reebok tracksuit to fucking rat. No way, everybody laugh at me. Everybody fucking laugh at me."
You come in, that guy who lit himself on fire comes in, it's like, "Mommy, I racked my new top."
That was Will Gregg, wasn't it?
That is. It's the. We shouldn't be laughing at this, but I'm going to. Someone taking a petrol bomb to the face. I was like, fuck, that looks so sore. They literally turn, and as they turn, you can see it in slow motion, just crack and like open over their head. It's fucking wild.
That's the thing that the kids don't see. Like, you are going to get injured. You are going to get hurt. Something could happen to you.
Yeah.
So it's a bit shit.
Take care when ratting, kids.
No, just don't do it. It doesn't serve any purpose for them.
No, it's very... So the reason we're talking about it from the offset is actually this week me and Paddy phoned each other and had a conversation when we really enjoyed doing the rave episode because it was talking about what united people and people were coming to us with stories about togetherness. So we were like, let's not really focus on what divides us and talk about politics and stuff. And then this fucking week happened.
I know. And I was sort of thinking, like, it's good that we did do this podcast together and that we can talk about, it's good. It's a good mix. But in the same sense, like, the way things are going, if the ceasefire was to break, like, I'm your mate and all, like, but I will put two in your head.
I know, we're going to come in. And you thought...
I'll do it live on one of
We're
the
laughing.
episodes,
He thought I was going to do that to him last week because I forgot the laptop and we were in a studio in East Belfast. And I ran out and went to get the laptop and came back and I was like, fuck, I thought you were going to get me like a boy from the Goodfellas. Like I was going to go in, all the walls, just plastic.
Alright, they come in and just go, right, this is it.
I'm half though, so I'll be alright. I'm half.
So you're the one to watch?
Yeah, I'm the one that... I'll be the Judas, like, don't I?
Oh, aye.
100%. If this was Game of Thrones, I'm Littlefinger.
One of Shanghai Butchers was half and half.
Right, well, I'm not one of the Shanghai Butchers. What am I to do with that information?
I sort of racked our feud in it.
I was kind of like, well, fuck, I'm sorry.
Eat a wee bit of bad from
You're like,
both,
always Ted Bundy was colourblind, so are you going to eat a woman's face?
Did he eat a woman's face?
I think so. I assume so. I don't know. He was... See, everyone was like, Ted Bundy was hot. He wasn't. He was just not stinking. So, he wasn't hot. He was just not a complete fucking freak.
Do you think maybe you're a man and...
Listen.
Are you gay?
No.
Well, then you can't really...
But everyone's a little bit.
No. Am I a good looking fella?
Oh, fuck. Absolutely not. Even if I was gay objectively, fuck no.
Do you know what I mean? That's how you know you can.
No, but I could look at a dude and be like,
do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you think you're good looking?
No, but that's just because I have low self-esteem.
You're actually starting to look like one of the fucking hunger strikers on the mural. Roads.
That's what I mean, mate. You know, if I'm ever caught going about here, I'm like, listen, I'm one of you.
No, you
There's
just
shite all over the walls of this car.
Just stand against the wall like that. And everybody goes, one MTD fucking Republican final.
Max, thank you for saying I look like a hunger striker. I've been on a wee diet, so thank you.
Fat cunt.
You look like a hunger striker, but you're a fat cunt.
Oh, when they got
the insults of Paddy Mcdonnell.
What I mean is when they were starving themselves. Nobody puts a picture up of them when they're dead. It's all like when they first get lifted.
Yeah.
Aye. That's what I mean.
I know one of them. I watched a movie on it the other day. The
Hunger?
Yes, it was good. Was it?
Good in a like Protestant way of watching it, that they were all down, or good in a like I can appreciate that
it was I can appreciate what the film was doing.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't watch it twice.
Right.
Do you know
like you know why all the Fenians watch Braveheart and like want to go out and fight the oranges at it?
Aye.
Was it that way?
No, I'm just like
you sitting going, yes.
I was sitting watching being like, it probably would be shit being in that room. Right, you can tell me this, right? Because I don't know. Where did Robin Shite in the Walls originate from? What is
why
the point
did they
behind
do it?
Yeah, why did you do it?
Right. Well, they weren't allowed out to map out. Do you know what I mean? So they were locked up for 24 hours a day.
Complete confinement, yeah.
Yeah. So basically they were meant to shade in the tubs and things. So they started making funnels in the bottom of the door and pouring the piss out in the corridor. Okay. And then they would have got like loyalist paramilitaries to push them back in who were cleaning the halls. So they decided the easiest way to get rid of the shite and to get rid of the smell was to actually rub it into the wall, because then it went away quicker than if it lay in a big lump on the ground.
The smell went away when you rubbed it all over
Went
the wall?
away quicker, apparently so. I mean, I wasn't involved in it.
Yeah.
But
so someone rang you up like, we're doing a bit of interior decorating, Paddy. We're thinking shite in the walls there, piss in the floors.
They had nothing. They were laying on the floor, so it was either laying your own shit or put it on the fucking wall away from you.
Fair enough.
That was the.
See, I thought there was some political reason or some that they'll see our resilience.
It was just hard to get rid of it, and that was what reading it. That's what they basically said.
I was asking my dad one time when they did it. He just didn't even look up. He just went, "Because Fenians are dirty." So.
See.
Well, you compared me to the Shanko Butchers earlier. I'm not feeling bad about that.
No, I didn't compare you to them. As I just says that one of them was a half Catholic, one half Protestant. So actually,
which? Actually,
Lanny Murphy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Fuck, he's the scary one too. He really scares
That's what I mean.
He really scares me.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying to you.
Yeah. Although the way our podcasts are going, we're going to get a message from him being like, love the clip, fellas.
Don't think you can get a message from him because he's fucking dead.
Well, he might then.
What's he gonna wake up?
Get a Ouija board and Lenny Murphy's fucking...
Lenny Murphy dressed as Michael Jackson coming out of the grave doing fucking Thriller up the Falls Road looking at us. Don't think it's gonna happen. Like,
Is he dressed as Michael Jackson?
because it's Thriller.
He can just do... He's already out of the dead. I'm not going to be like, well, you're not dressed as Michael Jackson,
And
so I'm
this
not
is
buying it.
Lenny Murphy. How we decided in the car on the way up, right, we'll have to address these rats. We'll do it in a way to try and get a bit of decorum, deny being like totally sectarian to each other and talking about fucking hunger strikers and fucking the Shanghai butchers coming out of the fucking graves dressed as Michael
They're all
Jackson.
together doing Thriller now. It's class. That's the real peace process.
And I go to sleep at night thinking about it. Did I get stuff in my head?
Yeah, but the reason we wanted to talk about that from the offset and like kind of get it out of the way was because we have the questions have been mainly that.
Have you ever read it?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm a good kid. Like I grew up in a rough area, but I just knew better.
Were you about to say I'm a good Protestant?
No, I was gonna say I'm a good person.
Oh, really?
I'm just a Protestant aside. I'm a good human.
I am not like one of those Protestants.
What the fuck?
Our houses are actually bought. We live in the hill. We can overlook West Belfast. We can see it in fire.
I don't believe in drinking alcohol, Patrick, so I didn't need to go. No, what the fuck am I gonna do in a rat? No, I mean,
Hand them.
they're gonna see we're like, were you
Hand them
ratting? No. Then who the fuck was that limping towards the police?
Well, there was one.
Get me in a wheelchair and just cover me in
Did you
petrol.
see the wee guy with the fucking cape trying to push the bin into the peeler jeep outside KFC? Like, what the fuck was he gonna do?
I didn't see that, so describe what happened.
He had a big bin, you know, like the big bins that's out the back of the like fast food places.
Yeah. Big industrial.
And he pushed it towards the peeler jeeps, right? And the peeler jeeps start revving as if like to push the crowds back. And he pushed the bin against the peeler jeep and then tried to push the bin and the peeler jeep back. And he was
see if he'd have done it for her, I'd be like, give him the country.
Like you, like it was. So people started imposing him on different things, you know, like holding up the Berlin Wall and the dam and all. Like,
yes,
it was
I
funny.
did see that. I also saw the one of the guy, which happens every time there's a minor anytime there's a police van outside, someone takes their top off and gets on top of it. Every time I saw that.
Well, I done that and wrote Jesus died for our sins, but Sammy died of embarrassment because everybody could see his piss stains on his tracksuit bottoms on social media.
You wrote all of that?
Aye.
It's the longest graffiti ever. And by the way, also...
that full stop.
Who was Sammy Wilson?
I haven't a clue. He was just some wee lad from Sandy Road.
I thought you were slagging off Sammy Wilson in your teenage years. I was like, fair fucking play to you. Very astute from a young age. But the main topic of conversation we want to do today, now that all the ratings out of the way,
Yeah.
I want to talk about nicknames.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the best nicknames you have? The best reason someone's been given a nickname?
Have you ever had a nickname?
I have, and they're all very, very hurtful. They range from... I do stand up about it. I did, because of cerebral palsy, range from spastic cricket, because if you've ever seen the movie Lawless, there's a guy with it has rickets, and he walks really funny. He's called Cricket, so I got that. DJ Spazzy Jeff is the best one. The one that annoyed me most was I got called half a side. Half a side. And I'm like, just because it affects half a side of my body, I was like, that's not even a joker. It's just like seeing someone with Down syndrome and going, what's happening, chromosomes? So you're like, you're just describing the condition at this point. I used to get called The Undertaker in primary school.
Why was that?
Because I used to be a big wrestling fan, right? And when I used to get bullied, I used to try and... Like, bear in mind, I was like 4'5", right? A wee fat kid. And
You would have been more like Paul Burr than fucking The Undertaker. You'd have been better off having the wee urn and going... than fucking trying to do The Undertaker.
So when someone would go, yo, William, if they were bullying me, I would turn around and just went...
That's why they were saying.
And I got bullied so hard for doing that.
That's why they were saying half a side to you.
No, I was primary school. Like
No, but they definitely would have got it from me because I was spastic looking face.
Spastic looking face. That's this episode's name. Spastic looking face. It's a goldie looking chain.
Did you ever see the show Spasticus?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I fucking loved it.
It was brilliant.
I loved it.
I don't mind when they do shows about disabled
Yeah.
people.
With disabled people actually running it, like the way they done that there.
With disabled people clearly going, the joke is, you're going to freak out when my arm falls off. Or whatever your fucking disability is.
It was so funny.
What I don't like is when they're like, have you seen that on Dateables? They're trying to find love. You're like, no one's watching that to see if they find love. You're watching it to see the guy go, it appears we both have autism, doesn't it? That's why we're watching that show. I watch it too, piss myself.
I mean, you piss yourself because you're disabled and something to do.
I piss myself because
I was like, oh, come up the stairs. Your granny's like, I'm fucking shit, I put a snappy on again. Wait, what have I told you? I'm sorry, Granny, after 8 o'clock at night, I can't help it.
I pissed myself because my nurse couldn't get her bus up because it got burnt out. You know what? I do too. I watch on Dateables and everyone's like, isn't it so cute? You're like, let's be honest, we're watching that guy with a tongue that's bigger than his face trying to talk. That's what we're doing. Do you want to go fishing? You're like, that's what we're watching it for.
Do you know what's weird about it? You know what's weird about it? Is probably the worst nickname I had was because of a deaf person.
I love this.
Do you know this story?
I've seen it. Because you used to do
Bit of it?
a bit of it, yeah. But I don't know the full story.
Right, so my ma's friend had a wee deaf son, right? Who was the same age as me.
Right.
And she was like, Mary, I'm not sending him to the deaf school. And my ma was like, why? And she was like, I'm just going to send him to St. Kevin's, to your Patrick and all.
Yeah.
And my ma was like, that's good, stand up for his rights. And she was like, no, it's not that there. Like, it's just that deaf school. You have to get him up at 7:30 to get the bus. Fuck that. So they started bringing him up to our house to play with me, right? And he's like full on, had the fucking thing in his head, like wired in.
Aye.
You know, right? So I was like,
Is he Indian as well? What the fuck's
fuck,
it?
like honestly, it was like full on, right? And if you get close to his ear, like you went, right, I swear. And he was picking up that. This isn't even a fucking joke, right? The teacher had to wear a microphone and a wee box, and it started picking up the taxi depots. It's good. So you'd have been sitting there, and the next minute it would have went, 14, will you pick up at the park centre? And you'd been sitting there as a kid going, what the fuck's that? 22. 16's broke down the weight track, which I found out 16 broke down top of weight track was the peelers are stopping.
It'd have been great if you were ever like robbing a place and you're like just stand outside and listen for the fucking police radio.
So we went to school, so his ma was like, I can remember this day, like on the P1, his ma was like, This is Patrick, you know Patrick, if you get messed about in here, you call Patrick. And he was like, got do, right? Fucking do them, but to fucking do about it. And she was like, right. So she put him into class, and all the kids in class were like, fucking this thing out of his ear and the big fucking earphones, right? So they're all trying to touch him, and they're fucking going to his head and going to his head, and it's going, fucking all the kids were loving it though, and he started freaking out, and then he just started shouting, Grapedic! And pointing at me. And everybody in school called me Grapedic. Because he couldn't say the word Patrick.
Your dick has more names than P. Diddy.
I know. And I had that the whole way through primary school. And then there was a select few people would have, you know, still called me in secondary school. But it got to the stage where you were fighting people who were strangers coming into the crowd because they thought, oh, this is hilarious. And started talking. And then you were like, you don't even know the story behind it. So it was pretty hard, like, for a nickname.
Aye, great.
Growing up, like, it's tough.
I don't feel bad for you at all.
Why?
Great Dick is no work. Like, you pissed yourself at half a side and you want this sub story for fucking Great Dick? Nah. You're not even the disabled one in that story. Fuck you.
Don't you throw that card out. Spazzy Jeff.
It's
want the deal, eh?
watch me, DJ. I'll deserve it.
Jeremy Beadle.
You're showing your age with that one.
Yeah.
Harry,
Do you even know who he is?
Did he host You've Been Framed before that fucking horse?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Before the big woman?
Yeah. Before the horse.
What was her name? A fucking
Mandy Dingle.
Nah, it wasn't Is Mandy Dingle not out of Emmerdale?
But that was her, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
A fucking pig?
Yeah. That was her.
Fair fucks. Didn't know what. Why? But what did Jeremy? I remember everyone's always said Jeremy
think
Beadle
he
to me,
had
but I've never got it.
A flaminamide hand.
I don't know what that is, but I want it. What's a flaminamide hand?
It was they were giving out drugs to pregnant women, and then it helped made deformities in people.
What was it for? For like pregnancy sickness?
No, I don't know. I honestly, I'd be lying to tell you what it is.
Probably the wrong podcast to really go into that.
Yeah, that'll be on our medical podcast that we're doing next week.
Where it's called "What the fuck is wrong with William?" and we just get to the bottom of it.
Yep.
And it turns out
But
I
then,
have everything.
So that was that, and then after I got the tattoo done, everybody asked where the Dagger nickname comes from. And what happened there was that I was working in the black taxis, driving, and there was a guy in there called Paddy, dead serious Republican man from Short Strand.
Yeah. Worlds away from you. No,
Yes, very serious man. Like, not up for jokes, not up for slaggings and stuff. One day...
You were sitting there in the taxi.
One day
get your dick out, come on.
He always sat and read, like, proper books. Like, I mean, Shakespeare and all that. And he was sitting in his taxi, and I went up, and he had just wiped his windows. And they says, you should go up and do a big, like, and blow your face out. And he fucking chased me around the depot for, like, 3 days. You know, he was that serious. Like, a kid hit his taxi with a snowball and landed him one time, and he chased him with a hammer.
You're using the word serious when you should be using the word psychotic.
Yes.
He was a very serious
He's still alive.
Killed his wife. Serious man.
He's still alive. He's still alive.
Ted Bundy was a very serious man.
He was just a serious camper, right? And what happened was, word got round that I had the tattoo.
Right.
So, Jared McGlade, who was another one of the drivers that trained with me, he was telling Paddy that I had a tattoo. And Paddy was like, right, I'm not really that interested. And he says, no, he has a tattoo of Ireland on his leg, very close up till his buttocks. And he says, every county has a different Republican figure's head on it. And Paddy was like, I'm intrigued by this. Why would this man have this on his leg? And Jared was like, you want to see the tattoo? He spent like thousands on it. So Paddy Donnelly came over to me one day and was like, can I see your tattoo? And I was like, what? And he was like, can I see your tattoo? And I was like, do you seriously want to see my tattoo? He says, I want to see your tattoo now. And I was like, right. So I opened the buttons, he's fucking staring at it. And I whipped out my fucking cock. And he went, you fucking dagger dick bastard. And he chased me, like, into Castle Street, through the fucking town. And I fucking run. Like, I'm not easily scared. It fucking scared the bollocks out of me. And he was trying to kick me in the whole way down Castle Street, shouting, Dagger Dick, hang on, I'll kill you. And then everybody in the taxi depot called me Dagger Dick from that day on because of that. So he actually gave me the nickname Dagger Dick.
And when did you realise he'd been set up? Like your mate had told him to do it?
When his eyes turned fucking red, he was like the Terminator and was chasing me down Castle fucking Street, gonna kill me. I seen his face once I whipped it out. He was, not only was he annoyed that I whipped the fucking cock out, he was fucking annoyed it was in front of people, do you know what I mean?
Well, he asked you to do it.
I know, that was my point, yeah. But at that stage I realised that there was no compromising with this man and it was fucking get out of there quick.
So have you any nicknames you've ever been given that aren't related to your dick?
I always get slagged for being fat.
I can see why.
Fat Pat. I remember getting called Fat Pat. Like there was no fucking thought process in that. It was just Fat Pat.
It's like a character in a Roald Dahl book. I love that. Fat Pat and the Giant Pie. Is it just because you're small you get called?
Fatty Patty or Fat Pat.
Yeah. There's genuine, if you're not watching the video version, there is sadness in Paddy's eyes as he's telling me about this. Because me and you have like the same body build. it's being so short that you can't carry any weight, or you do
Aye.
you do look wider. I have friends who are like 4 stone heavier than me,
Yeah.
and they still
because they're tall.
Because they're tall, they're that.
Yeah.
Which is I don't take body criticism from tall.
Also, I don't think you wouldn't have got any shit if you had been taller too, because then you could have beat a drum. Nobody fucks with drummers, like.
Oh, I can beat a drum
Can you?
with one hand. Yeah.
I can just see fucking one of your mates lifting you by the 2 legs and fucking beating you. No, I've actually seen you beat. No, it was Shane beating the drum in that there video, was it?
Shame I did the band pull.
You done the band
Which
pull.
I actually can't do.
Yeah.
Because Shane was like, can you not do any like wee tricks with that? And I was like, no, actually I can't. No.
No, that's why I'm at the Olympics.
Paralympics.
I didn't say the wrong thing. I didn't say special this week.
No, you just said actual Olympics.
I know I was giving you a fucking.
That's
like,
not what they are. It's not me and Amir Khan, like, or I don't know Olympians. But
I know, but you should just let on. Don't say you're in it. Just if like a bird comes up to you in the town, you should just go, "Do you know I was in the Olympics?" Like,
it's a fucking lie. Look at me. Right? If I came up to you and said I was in the Olympics,
but then you can play the para ones.
he's gonna think I'm in the UDA Olympics.
Fucking, there's some UDA Olympics down that fucking
I see you from the front. You can throw a
New
pencil ball.
Mosley fucking roundabout.
Isn't it like a thing? Like Northern Ireland used to be shit in the Olympics, apart from like boxing and shooting.
Fighting and drinking. If they had made drinking a sport, like, we'd have took over the world, wouldn't it?
In Britain and Ireland. It's only when you go abroad do you realise, like, as a people, we have a problem.
Yeah.
The rest of the world needs to sit us down and be like, will you fucking relax? Do you ever go over to America? No, like, you've lived there.
Yeah.
Right? I've never been, but I've heard from other people. They'll have, like, a couple of drinks on a night out, but they won't go
No,
out
like, they'll say, "Do you want to go for a drink?" And you'll be like,
in a minute.
so you go home and you get changed and you go to the bar and they're still there, we're closed, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Wait, when we get a drink?" And then they order a drink for themselves and you're like, the fuck's happening here, you know? So then you go, and then if you buy a drink for them, they'll just drink the drink that you buy them and go home. And you're going, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "We said we're coming for a drink.
Yeah.
We didn't say we're going out for the night." And I'm like, "We're only going to have like 3 or 4, fuck's sake. You can't come to a bar and just have one drink." And they're like, "Yeah, you can."
That's what it's for.
That's like,
Whereas you're like, I've told the wife I'll be in on Tuesday. What are we doing here? Was that a big culture shock? Because here it is, like literally people will be like, "No, we're going for one."
it didn't take long.
And you won't be in for 2
It
days.
didn't take long to find people that did go out drinking.
Right.
Because once you sat and had more than 3 drinks in the bar, you were deemed an alcoholic. So then all the alcoholics hung around with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we started a wee band on the street tapping.
Jackson?
Hermit! Hermit!
Oh, sorry, my chest is. Don't smoke, children. It's bad for you.
Do you smoke?
Not figs.
Well, he smoked cock.
And what if I did? What if I
Listen,
did?
it's a fucking
I'm allowed to.
It's the 90s, everybody's doing it.
I smoke bad things that you're not meant. Just meth. It's just meth. It's just meth.
Is it just to help you?
No, it's just like it.
Just to help you?
Thing is, if weed was made legal here for medical purposes,
You would let on you need it?
no, I would. What I have is like definition, because I have cerebral palsy and epilepsy, 2 conditions where you get it.
If you ever got caught by the cops, right? Would you spring that card to them?
No, I jump on the passenger side and just be like, "My daddy ran away! Help me! Grapedic!"
Take the peelers and go, "I think that's that wee lad went and fired underneath that way."
I'll open the passenger door and I'll just fall out of it.
Like Johnny McCarthy did in my car. Fuck's sake. In terms of nicknames in school, or in general, what's one of the best ones you ever...
There's this one. It's not even amazing, right? It's just such a silly story that I love it. That there's this guy in my school used to have porn on his phone, and it was like weird porn. Nothing illegal, but it was like cartoon weird shit, and he used to save it under his phone as weather. So once that was found, he was therefore known as the Weatherman. But like people were calling him it and not knowing why he was called. People were like, Weatherman. He's like, who the fuck showed you? What about you?
Stevens.
Stevens?
Stevens.
Why Stevens?
I didn't know for ages why his mum was called Stevens, right? Mm-hmm. But every now and again, he would take a shaking fit, right? Which wasn't an epileptic fit, right? We were in the bookies, right? I thought his name was Stevens, right? Right? I thought his second name was Stevens, and I used to always say to him, "All right, Mr. Stevens," right? And he never spoke to me, and I didn't realise. Then I was in the bookies one day, and he was sitting down, and he stood up, and he grabbed the fella. But your man that he grabbed was like a wino, right? Who used to shout, and he grabbed him. And when he took these grabbing fits, he wouldn't let go. So he grabbed the wino by the hand, and he started shaking, and he was going, "Run!" Right? And your mom was going, fucking stop in a minute. And I was fucking patient.
Imagine being Stephen and someone did
The
that.
more he shook your mom, the more tins of stagger were falling out of his coat pocket. And then the dockets went everywhere. And then he grabbed an Orby man that was sitting trying to fill in the fucking paper. And there was a fella came in the bookies and went, "What the fuck's going on here?" And I went, "Mate, don't move, the whole floor's electrified." And your mum went, "Whoa!"
It's like the most Mexican way.
He just came in with like epileptic, rock the boat. He's like, what the fuck's
He
going
was
on?
like, "Is he?" Then another fella went to come in and just looked. Your mom's going like this on the floor. And I pissed myself, and your mom was like, "What the fuck?" And then I says, "Mr. Stevens is taking a fit." The fella went, "You don't call him Mr. Stevens." I mean, what's his name? He says, "Mr. Boyle." Hear me. Why the fuck's he called Stevens? And somebody says he took one of them fits years ago, and there was a Shakin' Stevens song on, so they called him Shakin' Stevens. Here's me, no wonder the cunt doesn't talk to me anymore. Call him his nickname all his life. He must have been like, he's a cheeky wee bastard. He just says it to my face, right, Mr. Stevens?
Don't even have the like, courtesy to pretend he doesn't say it. That's awful. What was wrong with him that he took the fits?
I don't know what it was, but he only would get them every now and again. But fuck me, that day when he grabbed the window and the stagger was falling out, the wee mom was choking on the fucking table. And then your mom doing the whole fucking thing on the floor like he was going to get electrified. I was fucking wrinkles.
Fuck me.
But then there was a taxi man who used to pick us up. And because your mom was called Mr. Boyle. This is what fucking reminded me. But your mom, they all called him Boiler. They had him saved in the phone. He was a pirate taxi. So he was like, not like a fucking guy with an eye patch and a fucking... Arrrr! I'll be picking you up at the other side of the
I'll be dropping you off at Shore Road.
Do you like me pirate phone kit? Not that type
There's a
of
deaf kid getting in his ear. Like, what the fuck is up with this taxi signal?
He is a pirate taxi. Why the fuck they call it a pirate taxi? Why is this Cavalier fucking like a ship? Why's he got a skull and bones fucking flag on?
That's what when he gets a passenger, he puts the flag up.
Oh, you're getting out just to walk a plank? You be doing the runner, I catch you. Much as that there, mate? Be giving me 3 pieces of gold. Cop stopped them. "Excuse me, mate, why have you got a big sword?"
He's a pelican because he can't afford a cannon. So how did you know that pirate guy?
So he was a pirate taxi driver, right? And they had him saved in the phone as Boiler. Right? So I didn't have him saved, but this night I was in the town, I couldn't get home. And I phoned my mate and I says, "Send me Boiler's number." And he sent it to me, and I phoned your man, and he came down, and I was calling him Boiler the whole way up in the taxi. And he looked at me when I got out, and he was like, why are you calling me Boiler? My name's Sean. And I was like, what? you're seconding that boil or anything? And he went, no. At that stage, I looked at him, and the cunt used to be a weightlifter and used to take loads of gear, and he had fucking boils
Oh, it's just nasty.
like all over him, and I didn't know, and he was just sitting to me like a wee sad puppy, like, and I was just like, oh fuck,
He knew very rightly why you were called. That's so sad.
the whole way up in the taxi.
That's not even funny. That's just hurt my feelings. This is not even me. And
I'm like opening the door and bouncing in drunk, going, alright, boiler! And he's like, this cunt's a cheeky bastard, I want to throw him out.
There was a technician in our school who did tech, right? And he'd cut off 3 of the 5 of his fingers in his hand, so everyone called him like 40%. One time he was walking down the hall, one of the first years must have just like heard that's what he's called, didn't know why. I was like, oh, there he is, hi, you 40%. And he grabs the kid by the throat, pins him against the wall. I was like, it's Mr. Thompson to you, dickhead.
Fuck, he didn't like that.
I think he did get sacked. But
Did he get 40% of his wages?
no, they actually took the other 2 fingers. They were like, fuck you. No, we mean he did that. Obviously not.
Was he handy?
Apparently not. I've cut the fucking things off.
Did they have a finger buffet for his going away party?
He nubs his wife at night.
Oh, man. Stop it.
The disabled jokes you make at me, I'm going to make a finger one.
Do you know whenever I did get the finger bit off, right?
Right.
And everyone came to see me either in hospital or home when I get out. Mm-hmm. Every single person, there wasn't one person that didn't bring me either a packet of chocolate fingers or a coconut finger or a cream finger.
So by the end of it, you've lost a finger and you've gained 3 stone.
Like every single person, it was like subconsciously they went in to buy me something to make me feel better about my finger.
Yeah.
But everything they bought related to a finger.
Were you walking about for ages with like half a chocolate finger?
It was
in your
like,
hand,
it's
glued
like
to it?
subconsciously your mind does do shit like that.
Yeah.
No, whatever you do, don't mention it. Because we done a job for a guy and he had no arm,
Yeah.
right? And there was a...
What were you building him in
we
New
were
York?
put,
Or?
no, we were building a disabled toilet for him, right? In his house in Ballymurphy, right? But this guy used to drive like the prisoners bus, so he used to bring people to Long-Kesh on the Saturday to see their family, right? But he had one arm. And me and the fella that was working with me at the time were talking about buying apartments over in Turkey. Mm-hmm. And we were talking to him about it. And he was going, just fancy Turkey and all? Like, I wouldn't fancy going to Turkey and all. And Daggy turned around and says, to be honest with you, like, I know it's a dodgy country and all, because I know, like, if you get caught stealing, you get your hand cut off. And your man sort of looked at me, and I looked at him, and I sort of went, he'll get away with that one, you know? And then he started talking about something else altogether, and he says, just play golf. And Daggy says, oh, you do play me belly golf. And he says, my son has a golf bag out there with loads of balls in it. I think they're Pro V1s or something or whatever. They're good golf balls, but he's not playing anymore, just one any. Here's Daggy, fucking take your arm off for them.
That's not even a... Oh,
It was like subcon, and I'm looking at him like, are you fucking for real here? And your mom's looking at me like, I'm really gonna fucking hang. And then as we were walking out, he'd just give us golf balls. He'd said them both things, and Daggy legitimately walking out the door went, keep your hand out.
No, that's deliberate.
It wasn't. He genuine. And I said to him, we get out, you do know he has a false arm. And he went, what are you talking about? And I said,
didn't know.
Look at the fucking thing. It's like painted on fucking nails.
It's just because I've seen fake limbs.
He had
before,
sat it down the table like that, and it was like fucking clunk. Like, it was like, a hand doesn't make that noise. That fucking obviously plastic or wood or fucking something. And I was like, I did not know. And I was like, fuck me. I was like, fuck up.
I remember first time I saw someone with a fake leg, and my initial thought was, fuck, what's he moisturised with? Because that's so smooth.
My uncle had a false arm.
False arm.
And he stood for me in my confirmation. He screwed off his hand. And the way, I know you wouldn't know, but when you go for your confirmation, you go up with your sponsor, and the bishop's there, and you have to shake his hand, and your sponsor has to shake his hand. My Uncle Shamey screwed his hand off, shook his hand, and walked away, and left the bishop standing at the altar with the fake hand. He's just standing there like, what the fuck am I meant to do with
That's
that?
amazing. Why do you need a sponsor? Just in case, like,
Case
it's God sitting at the gates of heaven, like, I don't trust this fucking baby. Let's see if we can get someone to vouch for
it's
you.
in case the bishop goes, So you bring like your biggest, baddest uncle with you, so the bishop goes, no, it's okay.
Right.
He's not my type, man.
I know it is stereotypical to be like priests or pedos, but did you know any pedo priests?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're looking at me right now like I've just meant, did you know any women cleaners? Like,
That's like me saying, do you know anybody that's in a band?
What kind of band?
A fucking flute band.
No, I'm a good Protestant.
Oh,
No, I
right.
don't plenty.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was always like a joke, but it was never an actual thing. There's stop looking at me like that. I don't know. Don't make me feel the weirdo because I didn't know child molesters.
There's pedophiles in every walk of life.
We should get that in a quote like behind us, like live, laugh, love, like all lovely right behind it. There's pedophiles and everything.
And they always put themselves in organisations where kids are and things. So
yeah, it would make you feel bad about being someone who is genuinely just a good person and you want to help kids and you're just surrounded by fucking pedos.
mate, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait, if you ever have kids, you'll be in organisations and find out there's people that are pedophiles.
Yeah,
No matter what it is, whether it's sports clubs,
yeah,
whatever. That's where they go.
it's where the kids are.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Yes, it's like fucking alcoholics hanging about outside fucking off licenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You're going to find them in and around there.
yeah. I don't know. It's just so weird. I wasn't a big church goer.
No,
So, no.
that really surprised me.
No, but I don't even like Protestant church, like Catholic churches and Protestant church. Protestant churches, the minister just wants to hear. He gets off on hearing himself talk.
Depends on what type of Protestant church, because you have like
We have loads.
loads of flavors where we're like Oreos. They shouldn't really bring out any more flavors of it. Do you know what I mean?
Someone will bring out double stuff, and you're like, not really too sure
don't
about
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Whereas we have Presbyterian, Evangelist,
Baptist,
I was gonna say Mediterranean.
the first
that's not one,
Presbyterian,
Methodist.
the second Presbyterian,
What's the one? Paisley's church.
the
Where it's
free
just
Presbyterians.
the Tabernacle. Like it's a fucking.
No, the
special kind of
Tabernacle's
mental.
that's not Paisley. Paisley's
Is
free
it?
Presbyterian.
Is it free
No.
Presbyterian?
Yeah.
What's Tabernacle?
Tabernacle is like
So I call my dick.
it's like, oh man,
Oh, there's my dick.
I'm gonna fucking pull the finion out of you.
Oh, like, Lord, give me strength.
It's
That
like
guy.
a black churchgoers only here.
I'd go to that. That's here. That's here.
Aye, but it's like
Can we do
when
a
it
podcast
when
in the
it's
Tabernacle
when it's
Church?
coming. See when you see it's like we had a black guy played football with us, and the rig and the kit looked amazing at him. He was shite at football,
Yeah.
but he scared the fuck out of the other teams because he looked class.
Yeah.
That looks class when the blacks are doing that and they're up there and they've got the rhythm and but you put
The
a
blacks.
load of Protestants, right?
The blacks.
From Rathcoole, right? Trying to do that. It's like fuck off.
The God said to me.
Aye, like you have a man in Alabama, he's like, praise the Lord, and they're all
Oh,
singing.
fucking Jesus.
But then now you have people from Newton Abbey going, fucking yes, my Jesus loves me up the...
That's it. Everyone gurns about how much like singing's done in Catholic mass. Prod churches are worse
Oh, I know they are.
because we won't like do them loads. We'll do like 5 at the start and like 5 at the end. But
you know what?
fuck me,
Catholic
everyone.
chapels, you don't have flags. That's the one thing when I went in the Protestant chapels, you all have Union Jacks and all that.
Do you know how bad that is? I never noticed that.
Did you know?
You're
immune to it.
right. You're
You grew up
absolutely
with it.
right.
The
but
fucking won't even let you bring tricolour on top of a coffin in the Catholic chapel.
won't even let me fire my gun over the top of it for fuck's sake.
I was in the Protestant church and they played the God Save the Queen and I was like, holy fuck, I'm definitely in the wrong place.
There was one time I was at a certain establishment and I didn't stand for God Save the Queen because at the end of the night,
I've done that.
yeah, different
I've
reasons.
talked
but-
about it. Did I do it in one of the I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. The reason I did it was just I think they played Blurred Lines just before it, and Wee Man had danced himself silly. So they came over to me and they're like, "You stand for the national anthem," and I was like, "Mate, like I have cerebral palsy." Like,
See, I knew you would pull that out.
100%. They went, "That's no excuse." I'm pointing, and there's a wee guy in a wheelchair being held up by like 2 guns for the fucking national anthem.
See, we had to say there like a couple of ropes on him.
They were doing like a weekend at Bernie's for him.
What a
It was
film.
the way done.
What a film.
It was like perfectly fucking timed. He's like, "That's no excuse," and that cunt's just like being held up.
You really love it. Like, it's proper order. Like,
It's weird for me, for someone who's not into it, and I was never into it. It's even strange to me when I have family members who fucking love it, like, and I'm just like,
who brave it?
live it, breathe it. How dare you ever think
I
outside
talk about
this
it. Yeah.
range of thought? And they'll look at you mental if I'm like, I don't think one side is entirely bad.
Is there anybody in your family has wee tins of biscuits with the royal family on it or anything?
No.
No. They're not royalist. They're loyalist.
They're loyalist, yeah. Well, that means they don't slag the Queen to them. They don't take that well.
Fucking, I know she's fucking claiming all the money, but you fucking say something about her, I not gonna hold that.
Yeah. That one of those, like, don't you fucking
Can't even spell Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what do you love about the Queen? They're like, we are the champions. It's a fucking beautiful song.
she's that important, just we put her in the buns.
Yeah.
I like a wee Queen bun.
See, when the Meghan Markle stuff was kicking off, like, the fucking anger from Protestants, like, was insane to me.
To her?
To her.
Oh.
So you're used to, you know, everyone taking her side, and I don't think I'm on any. I'm more inclined to be sympathetic with her.
No.
But I'm not.
No.
Really giving a shit.
Nobody. See, the thing about it was, anybody was commenting on it. Like, say you went into the bakery and somebody was like, well, what's the crack? Fucking, did you see that thing about Meghan Markle? And you'd have like 20 people turn around and go, why the fuck are you talking about them cunts anyway?
Yeah,
so,
is that what it would have been for you? Yeah, for us it was, could you believe her?
What a bitch.
Disrespecting the royal family.
She's coming in there and she fucking, we let her have wee black babies and all, and she's still fucking disrespecting.
That's what but everyone was like, could you believe someone in the royal family was racist? And I'm like,
yeah.
I just assumed that they were.
100%.
Was it Prince Philip?
They have two fucking sisters in a fucking home that nobody has visited in years because they can't fucking talk.
There was a time Prince
If
Philip.
you had been a royal, they would have put you away.
If I had been alive 50 years ago, they would have put me away. Do you know what I
They
mean?
would have fucked you off a cliff in Sparta.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's some societies.
They couldn't have lifted me to fuck me off.
There's some societies, if you were disabled, they saw you as like.
Oh, aye.
Gift.
Cursed.
Like no, there was some saw you as like a god gift. Swear to fucking God.
Where are they?
Like.
Did you ever think of going and living there?
Years ago. Well, no, because I can't time travel.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, but one day I'll go. But there was a time Prince Philip was meeting like an Olympic team from like Jamaica. He came up and just called them and was like, "Oh yes, you're a very talented bunch of spear chuckers."
Is that the Queen?
No, Prince Philip.
Oh, I know,
he's
he's a fucking lunatic.
But he's one of those, right? Yes, he probably is. I'm not making excuses for racism, but he is also 100. What the fuck do you think he thinks? When he was alive, women could barely vote. Like, what do you think his
Has he not lived no more?
Fuck barely, like, I don't think so. Like, I think
My man thinks he's been dead for like 3 years.
I don't believe in that, like, adrenochrome, they're drinking baby's blood to stay alive, and then you see him and you're like, fuck, they are.
I just can't believe they let him out of the coffin during daylight.
He's proper Nosferatu, like, and
Is
he's
he?
proper, like, fucking... It's the eyes. It's like he's just ripped a bong and then Frampton's decked him. That's what his eyes look like.
Would you lick his pipe
No.
to get in top?
There's no...
Who's your favourite woman in the world?
No one had enough. I'm willing to fucking suck off Prince Philip. And
Just-
just break off in your mouth.
Just like rub your finger up it and lick it after touching it. Would you do it?
Honestly, if I gotta go with Meghan Markle, yeah.
Would you?
Oh, she's banging. Yeah, I would. For Meghan Markle, yeah, I would. Does anyone have to know? Or do I keep it to myself?
Keep it yourself.
Oh, then, yeah. I'd do it for free.
And let him watch.
I'd do it just because no one who else is doing that.
You're not going to get them two in the same room now. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. But, yeah, do you not... Is Meghan Markle not a wee bit of choice?
It's alright. Well, I'm 40 and have loads of kids. It's
You're also one of the
possible.
horniest men I've ever met. So.
I look at bowls of stew now in a different way. Do you know what I mean? You get to the age where you're sex drive.
You get a good amount of meat in your stew and you're half around.
No, but the thing about it is, it's cut now. I'm like, you know when they say, that dog's mad, you need to get it snipped?
I thought you meant you were circumcised.
No, I'm not Jewish.
No. Oh, you have you got a
I'm snipped, yeah.
vasectomy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He else says it has one.
Aaron
A
Butler.
butler has one.
He got it when he was 17 or something, for fuck's sake, in Dublin.
What? I thought he got it recently.
No, sure. You can't really just go and get it because you have to prove that you need to get it. So I was like, went to the doctor and was like, no, look. And he was like, no, you definitely get it now. We'll get you in now and get it done. But no, they're like, you can't just go and get it. Like if you have one child, they go, no, you have to wait like a couple of years because you might want another child to go with that child.
Yeah.
And then next minute, Fenians being Fenians of 10 kids.
You've 20 before you know it now.
Yeah, and you're like, thanks, I'm a grand now too.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I will give you the snip. But Yeah, so he went and paid to get it done.
At 17?
He was young.
That's like even I am already of the mindset of I don't want kids. But I'm 24.
He was just
That'll probably
selfish.
change.
He was just like, no, I never want kids. No, fuck that.
It's not selfish. It says it's up to him. More, see, in my opinion, more people should take that fucking view. There's so many people who are like, here's our beautiful child. I'm like, someone let you have a fucking kid. You know what I mean? Do you know there's some real
You're judging a lot of people there, though.
Who?
You.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What's your point?
Well, Lauren could have had the next guy to eradicate cancer.
He
We'll
also,
never know
he
that.
also could have had the next Hitler. Do you know what I mean? Kill all people without glasses.
That's not what he done.
Who was it? Eddie Amin did that, wasn't it?
Did you think he'd done that? Is that why you thought you seen all the glasses in them camps and thought it was just anybody with specs? You specky
I
cunt
was
on
just
the
like,
train.
fuck, Hitler really hated shoes, didn't he? Look how much they've left at the door of this.
There was a hippie.
Do you know I had a mad dream one night where Hitler released an album of songs, and it was all hits from over the years, and I came into work the next day and I actually could remember the words to them.
What were they?
I mean, there was all the young Jews, we have your shoes. Right, was one of the songs, and then there was
Hitler making diss albums for the fucking
it was
Jewish
like it was scurry, like detailed.
Yeah.
How I remembered the songs. But it was grim.
Paddy's telling us about his fucking Hitler
It was
album
grim.
dreams.
It was grim.
Right, we need to get questions in because we're nearly an hour into this and we'll end up just talking about Hitler again. I'll go with my Facebook first. If you want. That's not Facebook questions. Give me a second. I've screenshotted that much shit here. Hang on. I've just got Hitler singing, "Hello, young Jews, where are your shoes?"
And listen, it'll get into your mind. And
It's deep in there now. Like,
Sounds like a rejected Family Guy cutaway.
yeah.
It's
Hitler
really
album.
familiar as well. Like,
Oh, Paddy's been caught stealing.
oh, it's not familiar. No, nobody else has that song. There was a song that went all the young dudes.
Right, you ready for the questions?
Right, go ahead.
Okay, so Mickey Main wants to know, this is bizarre that we were talking about this. After last night, do you think if the Olympics introduced rioting, we would place? We have already talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would. Why is our political agenda the biggest load of fucking wank from Jimmy McLucas?
I think mainly because it's a fucking cesspit of bollocks that they've created here, where the Ulster was always that hard for the English to conquer, and then eventually they did get it.
Yeah.
So they overpopulated it with people, settlers. And then when they ended up dividing up the country, they seen Ulster as a Protestant state, and it had all the stuff they wanted in it, which was the shipyard, the fucking ports, and all that. And then now all that's away. So you have a bunch of people who believe that the country was given to them and it's their right to have it. And then you have another bunch of people who are like, well, we want the country to be fucking thing. It's a fucking... It's a load of bollocks.
But also, like...
It's like a game of chess that you can't finish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take another generation for the two parties that are.
I don't even think it's another generation. I think that way it's because it's you can just see the way it is. It's still divided. There's still a wall. There's still one side and another side.
There is, but in terms of like my generation to your generation, you get the divides, but like it's not as strong.
Listen, you go in them wee young fellas and stuff like that. I would say in the past couple of weeks, the amount of young fellas that's joined all them organisations and stuff, because they can see this here and see that there, and they're getting told that much shit, they're believing it.
But I'd argue that's economic deprivation. Do you know what I mean? That's
100%.
That's what it
It's a
means.
cesspit of everything put together.
It's not like our society like couldn't get out of that.
And on top of that, then when the wee lads on this side of the fucking wall see them and go, sure, they're fucking doing it, and they're trying to come in here.
Yeah.
We're not going to fucking let them do it. It's like two wee young dogs going at each other. It's not, you're not going to fucking stop. It's going to fucking collide.
Nuke just nuke us.
Well, thanks for bringing a comedy podcast down. But was he a Catholic or Protestant and asked that
I don't know,
question?
his name's Jimmy McLucas. I don't know.
Jimmy McLucas.
There's
no Fenians called that.
No.
Definitely not.
He has the big book of Fenians too. He's like
definitely-
running down it. There's the Jamie
He's not-
McGreevy. There's the
Does he have a
Is it
GAA
Jamie
badge?
or Jahami?
Go in and look and see if he's any GAA badges or a fucking Union Jack around his profile pic.
Nah. It doesn't.
Where's he
He's from
live?
Lisburn.
He's a fraud. I fucking told you.
Here's how know how you
Let
know.
me smell him.
He's answering under my questions. That's how he's
Exactly, yes.
Paul
Was that
Roberts-
in the fucking, the Loyalist Front's fucking WhatsApp group that you fucking put that into, was it?
Paul Anderson wants to know Mag, Shari and Kill. Mary, Shag and Kill, Arlene Foster, Michelle O'Neill and Naomi Long.
Marry, shag, and kill.
Yeah.
Well-
I'd shag them all to death after I've married them.
I would shoot them and then marry them and then shag them. Because I'm Catholic, I have to do it in the right order.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Mary, Shag, Kill. None of them.
No.
Because I don't hate them enough to kill anyone. But I'm not fucking them. What are
No.
you talking? Absolutely not. Right. Do you want to go on your Facebook?
Yes, Chris Raff asked, what is your biggest supernatural or paranormal fear?
See, I was gonna say death, but that's not really supernatural or paranormal. Dying itself freaks the fuck out of me.
Does it?
Oh, I'll proper have panic attacks just sitting thinking about it. Like,
See, I don't think like that because it's if it happens, it happens.
I know that. I know there's nothing I can do about it. That's what I don't like about it, is that there's nothing I can do about it. And there's something about it that I'll end up thinking about it, and I'm like, I need to stop thinking.
No.
Because I'm freaking the fuck out of myself.
You think too much?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of ghosts or anything like that. I mean, see if I saw a ghost
See, I
in a
think
horror movie.
you think
I'd
you're
fight
not
it.
as scared of ghosts, right?
I'd
But
fight it.
I came back from a gig one night, right? I think you're hard as fuck, right? Yeah. But I pulled into the street, and I don't know. Do you ever see when it's like no wind and fucking complete silence,
Yes.
and it's like there's something just you're like,
Not right.
what the fuck? Because if there's a drop of rain or there's a drop of wind, there's noise, and it can be a wee bit scary, but at least there's noise.
Yeah.
When there's fuck all, like dead silence, that is fucking eerie, right? So he gets out of the car and he could hear my own footsteps walking to the front door. And that day we had been at like a christening party. And obviously, Fenians being Fenians, there was 50 million fucking helium balloons. So everybody got to bring some back. So there's this thing of helium balloons and a balloon behind our front door. So when I opened it and opened the door, the first thing a helium balloon wants to do is escape to the air. Mm-hmm. And the fucking balloon came out the door to me. And I literally went 2 hands up like a cartoon damsel in distress and went, fucking 2 hands like that. It scared the fucking. I jumped out of my skin. She just turned the light on top of stairs and went, I could fucking see you, or you were like a big fucking girl. Fucking balloon came out there. And I was like, fuck.
That reminds me, the worst thing I ever did to my sister as a prank, right? She was like 4 or 5 at the time. I ordered this wolf costume. Fucking fully stuck it all on, hid in her wardrobe, and like turned the light off and just waited there until she came in. And this was like late at night. She was a fucking baby, like. And I started like poking the door, not like throwing it open, just poking it so it would open. And then she came over and like, yeah, I'll shake it open. And I was like dressed as a full fucking werewolf, just cried for about 2 hours straight. I felt fucking horrible.
She's probably still getting fucking
She genuinely
counselling.
Yeah. Like I thought like, oh, she'll be a wee bit scared. I've never seen a child like proper, just like inconsolable, like fucking.
Scared to death.
I was like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. Like, funny though. Did you get any more questions on yours?
More questions would be. Let me see. We have Stephen. Thoughts on ratting? Gonna crack the old man's face, mask out, and go and sort it out. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have children now. Basically, what he says is, what's your thoughts on the rats?
Oh,
And are you gonna get your old man's face mask out?
I'd like to
My
imagine
dad's mask out and go down the rats.
you coming back would be like there's people fighting in all the streets, and then like Stone Cold's music hits, and you guys are like, he's back! He's back! It's Mcdonnell, son of a bitch! You're emptying out the PSNI Catholics and Pro. You're not Karen. You're fucking clean.
I'm here to sort shit out. Woo!
You're doing the chops like they're hitting you and you're hulking up.
Daniel McGahey asked, are you staying exclusive to Spotify like Rogan, or are you going to be everywhere eventually?
I am literally trying to get us on Apple. they will not validate the RSS feed. So if anyone can help me with that, that's the only reason we're not.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
It
So
sounds political.
if anyone knows how,
I am fucking going to Stormont about this somewhere.
I'm trying to help. If anyone knows how to get Apple to validate your RSS feed without fucking about, please let me know, because I've tried so many times and they won't accept the feed.
I remember this one time there was a priest and he fucked about with my RSS feed.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Mommy, a priest wrecked my podcast. That audio's unlistenable.
Mommy, he was messing up. Right, stop. Right, I see. If you and Shane Todd had a competition, right, so that's obviously me. If me and Shane Todd had a competition to see who could make the best petrol bomb, why would yours be better? Because I've made them before and I've threw them before, and I don't think Shane has. So that's why I think I would win that one.
Because Shane will be like,
But
petrol, I don't have a shirt I can wear while
actually
making
looked
them.
up the other day to see if you could still get the old milk bottles. Because them beer bottles is fucking what making all them wee lads going fire.
Stop telling people how to make petrol bombs.
No, it really
This is how you make safe petrol bombs
because
back in my
the
day.
milk bottles used to have a wider hole at the top, so you were able to get them
I'm a
in.
fan of that.
And you only fill it up a wee tiny bit. Whereas they're putting them in them, and they can't see, they're not clear. So they don't know how much they're putting in. So next minute they're overfilling them, and then they go to fill them, it's fucking coming out round them. Just be careful.
Right, be careful when you're throwing petrol bombs at bus drivers. There, guys, it can be dangerous. Weirdest fucking,
Fuck Translink! No, I'm only
weirdest
joking.
fucking tip ever.
The fella did ask.
Ours, remember, keep your guns dry if they're wet. The bullets won't fire. Stay safe, kids.
Stephen Burns, who do you blame for the rats? Arlene Foster.
Can I be Tim McGarry?
Who do you
blame for the rats, Pop?
Why do you do it like a spastic?
Because I do everything like a spastic.
Who do you blame? Who do you blame for the wrath? Paddy Mcdonnel. Well, Tim,
I can't do that.
I blame Stephen fucking Nolan and Arlene Foster, and that's who I blame.
I blame Brexit.
Brexit isn't a person.
It's an idea, and I blame that.
It was a democratic vote that was voted for by that community.
But, and a big but, and I cannot lie, they didn't know what they were voting for. And that's on the shoulders of those who propagated it and promoted it, but they didn't know what they were voting for.
That's the most loyalist you've ever sounded.
Of course they fucking
since
did.
I've met you.
Of course they fucking did.
I swear to God. Stephen, hold on a wee second now.
Let me just say,
Now,
that's
I
not
know,
the point I'm making.
Stephen, before you go any further, I know Rangers won the league this year and we should be happy about it, but fuck's sake, come on. Cormac put that up. I was fucking
I can go proper. But that's what I mean. They sold the idea of Brexit, and I remember it because people were saying at the time,
Who did? The Tories?
the DUP and the Tories, and
Right.
they
So
literally,
these cunts that live in big houses
but
told
gave
lies to the
DUP
ordinary wee people to
Yeah.
fucking make the wee people vote for it,
Yeah.
and then the wee people vote for it, and then they fuck you over.
It did my fucking head in. So that's who I blame. I just blame anyone voted for Brexit.
Yeah.
Anyone, fuck you.
Paul Farrell, who's a mate of mine, Farley, he actually picked the tattoo.
Good man.
The original one.
Excellent choice.
He says, "Is it true you vomited in someone's hood in Salt Lake Park?" That is correct. He says, "Is it also true that you played chopsticks on the Central Hotel piano with half a finger missing?" Yes.
What's chopsticks?
Ding 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 ding.
That was like a game. Just
Do you know like Big? And he jumps on the big piano in the toy shop.
fuck's big.
Fuck me, I need to do a podcast with somebody my age.
It's the two of
It's
us
like I
not
fucking
knowing
talk
what
and you're like, what?
it's the two of us not knowing what each other are talking about.
I know.
Is Tom Hanks in Big?
Yes.
Right, I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah. Well, he plays chopsticks on the like a piano on the floor, like a big piano, with the guy that owns a toy shop. I don't want to spoil the film.
Did you play piano before you lost the finger?
My ma sent me to piano lessons.
That's the most Protestant you have ever sounded to me, Patrick.
Oh, but it was for to play the accordion in the band.
Is there a shitter instrument in the world?
Can you teach my kids to play Celtic Symphony on the fucking piano?
It's a fucking tune. I'll give you
You
some.
like that one?
That's a fucking good song.
My kids have started singing it.
Dun, 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 dun. That's
Could
a
you
good
imagine?
song,
Could you imagine like Jerry Adams, right, being interviewed, and somebody's like, "Jerry, I would like you to make your comments about riding and what you." Well, I would just like to say that over the years, I've seen a lot of riots. I've seen a lot of things happen. A lot of people can't get hurt at this. I remember this one time. I was at a riot in Short Strand, and the RUC, who indiscriminately would shoot these rubber bullets, they shot this girl, and it hit her right in the, and then it goes cuts to the roof tones and goes.
I've seen that.
That has to be good.
That's funny.
That's
very
the
funny.
one.
Do you make it?
Yeah.
Do you make it?
Yeah.
I thought you did. What else you got?
Let me see.
I'm trying to find questions that aren't about Arlene and Michelle. I'm sorry if you've sent one in about Arlene and Michelle. We're not being dicks. There's too many. Literally, like about 40 questions about them.
Yeah, we can't do them all.
We can't. Every question is, the best one we got was some Leo the Leprechaun asked what would Arlene and Michelle choose as their drug of choice to get wiped out on. I don't know what drugs Arlene Foster needs to do, but she needs to do them fucking soon. There's no way she's done drugs ever.
Just a very angry woman.
She is. She needs a fucking joint.
Well, we know she doesn't need the R thing because her driver was giving her that, wasn't it?
The cook.
The wooden salami.
But yeah, she needs a fucking joint. What does Michelle O'Neill need? What would she get wiped out on? She strikes me, and I'm sorry if I'm being disrespectful, she's definitely taken a few E's in her time.
Oh, I 100%.
There's no fucking way.
There's no doubt I have danced beside her next to 15 or the arena.
Aye.
100%.
Definitely. She just looks, and this is, I can never shake it about her, she just looks like she should be on like the touchlines of a football match giving the referee fucking abuse. That's what she looks like. She looks like the teachers put her kid in detention and she's fucking storming down.
Come here, you bastard!
What are you putting him away for? No, man, that's the kind of...
Only the culty version. Hi! Come here, I have a word with you.
Why do
You hear you?
Why are your cultures deaf and Chinese?
I fucking...
I am from Tehran! Up at the gar!
No, the Tyrone ones, there's like big keysy and stuff. There's different fucking pieces of Tyrone. Like,
Yeah.
there's the bogland, like Dalakmua.
Where they speak Dothraki?
They look like they're fucking orcs from fucking Lord of the Rings.
Just come out of the mud.
They come out of the mud. They're like, hi, you fucking man. And you're like, whoa, fucking hell. What happened to them cunts? It's like, they were like this. They were like the spastics of Coal Island, and they were like, put them all in the wee mud.
Aye.
There's a wee mud hut down the middle of Dalakmore, and they come in like, that's a fucking nerd. And they're angry, and they've all got one eyebrow.
Oh, that's something, like, I have
They all have one eyebrow, like
I
fucking
get that.
one eyebrow meeting the fucking hairline. It's fucking and
Is it just one?
they're a wee tiny bit baldy, like not fully baldy. It's just like RoboCop sort of shit happening.
Yeah, where
know?
it's like the hairline's like that far back. Do you ever worry about going bald?
Nah.
Nah. Do you think you will, or do you think what you've got, you've got?
My dad is like really thin hair, but he hasn't went fully bald, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's
No.
the way it's gonna go.
See,
but if it did, I'd just shave it. I remember shaving my head before, but everybody thought it was Johnny Dare. My engagement photos, my sister paid for us to get engagement photos made, and I just looked like Johnny Dare. Like the fella taking the photos thought it was Johnny Dare. He was like, "No, it's alright. You don't even have to pay for them. Go on, it's alright, no."
I love you, be42, man. It's alright.
It was like full denim jacket, denim fucking
Did you
things,
have the hoop in?
sun boots, yes, fucking hooped earrings in both ears, and walked in this thing, and he was like, "Fuck me, it's Johnny Dare."
I love finding photos of you in like your 20s, because they're fucking, it's like a time capsule of fashion. Like
Yeah.
what you were wearing then starting to come back in now.
Oh no,
Do you know what I mean? Mullets and shit, they're all
no,
coming
I
back.
never had a mullet.
Do you never have a mullet?
I look like a Protestant.
Yeah, which is weird because now I'd say you're a very
Fenian?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I look like a proper wee Irishman.
Yeah.
Like
Where's the
with a
weird thing?
ginger beard.
I look
Back
Irish,
then, I had like full on curtains, shaved up
right.
in there, earrings in both ears, big Johnny Dare hoops.
That's right. I've seen that. It's fucking terrifying. If you want to go find that photo, it's scary to see.
I used to
you
go into
wearing.
Catholic discos. They used to ask me where I was from. They were convinced I'd gone to snood. Do you know what I mean?
See, I think now over lockdown, I look Irish.
Oh well, you do look like a hunger sticker. I said that to you.
See, I was afraid about.
You look like somebody who would play like you would wear like an orange jumper and be playing in a wee folk band in Donegal.
I look like I smoked rolled figs.
There's definitely Fenian in you. There's definitely Fenian in you. Like,
I'd rather be in a Fenian. I was worried about going bald before lockdown, and I'm like, I'm fine. I was convinced I was going bald.
let me see. Pull your hair back.
I see.
You are going bald.
I'm not going bald.
You are.
This hairline I've always had.
No, you're definitely going bald.
Where am I going bald?
At the sides, you can see where
Oh, I oversee it a bit.
they're
There.
starting to go up in there.
It'll go up in a bit.
Then would you just shave it off, or would you have a comb over?
Probably it depends.
Or would you go to Turkey and get your teeth done and your hair and your belly?
If I had the money, I'd go to Turkey.
Get it all done in one.
Yeah. But
Here, mate, can you give me
I'll
white
do the
teeth?
belly myself.
Can you give me
I'll
white
do it.
teeth? Can you give me a six pack? I want a hair transplant. Can you put
That's one thing I do.
UDA on my arm?
I'd never get the 6-pack implant. Because I remember that guy in Big Brother who got that done, and he was literally about 10 stone overweight, but had a 6-pack. It was fucking ridiculous. Like, no, but so my dad's hairline went in like this around this age, but then stayed the same.
Is that right?
Yeah. Whereas every other man in my family is bald by the time they're my age.
Do you know if you grew a mullet, you would look like Michael Stone?
Oh yeah.
You do look a bit.
It
Nah, I'm looking at you like I know I said you look like you played the fiddle up in fucking Donegal, but you do. The more I look at you now, you keep putting your hair back like that. I was like fucking starting to walk away from
It's
your.
the mustache. Do
It's
you know what?
the scurry eyes, no. It's like
I don't mind going bald as long as it doesn't happen before I'm 40.
why?
Because you're still young enough to fuck.
Why over 40 does it stop?
I assume so.
Well, I told you.
All over 40.
You start looking at the fucking stew that's still for sale in
Do
the
you know what I mean?
garage. It's reduced down to a pound in a different way when you're over 40.
See, when you meet someone who is a grown man and they're talking about, like, I was writing this wee thing, I'm like, fucking stop, you weird man.
Oh, mate, I wouldn't
too old.
see young people to do my head on.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't go
I-
with a girl
I
who's
could-
like 7 years younger than me. Do my head in.
Do my balls in.
Oh, absolutely. My sister was like 18, and if I had to put up with a wee girl who was like, alright, I'd lose my fucking mind.
See people that go for younger people, like I don't get it.
I get it. They're fucking pedos.
Yeah.
I have this saying, and it's just because it's legal.
But I
Doesn't
think-
mean you're not a pedo.
Oh, right. So if
and that's
somebody's
my
50
wee
and they go
saying.
with somebody at 20, that's still pedophilia.
Yeah, you shouldn't be in jail, but you are a pedo.
Right.
It's not jail time, but you're a fucking pedo.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because you were 30 when she was born. Pedo.
What if it was a gay man with a young fella?
Alright, that's a gay pedo. I don't know why him being gay means he's not a pedo. I don't get that.
It was because every scenario you give her was a woman and a fucking man.
Yeah, alright, well, yeah. If one's a fucking transgender lesbian, the other's a 14-year-old transgender lesbian, still pedo.
Right.
It's the age is what we're focusing on here. It's like, it's just weird. I'm the same as you. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's clearly I'm losing my mind that I'm getting old. Let me get some young.
Are you
family.
dating anything at the minute?
Am I dating anything? Jesus fucking
Well, I
Christ.
don't want to say you dating
Anything?
because I don't know. He could be fucking into fucking animals, you know,
yeah.
and I don't want to just judge you.
I am into animals, by the way, ladies. No, not at the minute.
Let's go, ladies. William's available.
It's a fucking miracle I'm single, honestly. I'm cute as shit and funny. Why am I single? And I'm arrogant
I
as
have a
fuck.
fair idea.
Oh, why is that?
You must be a wee nasty fucker. Like, you must fart in bed and all.
I thought you were implying
must
like
be
I
an-
hit women.
You must,
like, I was
you
like,
must
how
be.
fucking dare
You
you?
must be an insensitive lover or something like.
I don't like people. You know me, right? And you've known me a long time. You know I will take moods where I just won't speak to people.
Right. Okay.
And I genuinely don't like people.
Right.
I'm very friendly.
Right.
I can get on with people. I don't do well with relationships or intimacy. Don't like it.
Right. Say we were doing this. Is it like you're?
Therapy.
Yeah. No, not therapy. Say we were doing a video here for the set you up, right?
Right, okay.
So, I want you to look into the camera. No, genuinely.
Right, okay.
Do it serious, right?
Yeah, okay, right.
Do it serious. Not fucking about, right?
Right.
Look in the camera and tell them why they should date you.
Hi, my name's William. You should date me because I'm great, funny, and very sensitive. And also, you'll get DLA. How's that?
See? It's all wrong.
Do you really think that's how I'm going to walk up and flirt to someone?
You'll try that, and if that doesn't work, then you'll go, did I ever tell you I have cerebral palsy?
No.
Then try and get the sympathetic.
Is that what you think I go for sympathy?
Would you get it?
No, I used to, as a teenager, genuinely, I did used to do that. It doesn't work. Because it's pathetic. Who the fuck wants to feel, but who's going to be like, I feel so sorry for him, I'm going to ride him. No one does that. No one does that. Doesn't work. I am to a bad point, a cheeky bastard. When I know how you know I fancy you? Because I'm being fucking horrendous to you.
Right.
I'll literally be like, oh, you're not doing your makeup tonight? Shame.
Oh, right.
Oh, you chose the wear dress, did you?
Do you do that because you don't think you can have them, or do you do that
I do
because
that
you're nervous
because that's how I show affection
when you're nasty to people?
to anyone. That's how I like being shown affection too. I don't like people being like really nice to me.
Oh,
I
you
don't
think it's fake?
I don't trust it.
You don't like Paddy McGahey, he thinks a real cunt.
No, he's a lovely fella. he's a lovely fella.
He's too nice. He's too nice. You couldn't trust a cunt. Don't let him babysit your kittens.
But you know what I mean? I feel when someone's too lovely to you. It's also, I grew up in a house where everyone was slobbering, not in a bad way, but you grow up and be like, fuck up, you fat bastard. Do you know what I mean? If I can insult someone and they respond with an insult, that's me.
Right.
That's me hooked. But if you insult someone and they get all shy and like annoyed, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you. I mean it now. The insult I give you, I do mean it now.
Yeah, take it, you cunt.
Yeah. Well, what about you? What was your flirting technique?
Basically just grab him by the hair. Mere fuck, I'm on the fuck.
Can we cut that?
I'm obviously joking.
No, you're not.
I never went with anybody before my wife. That was it.
Serious?
That was it.
You only had the one?
Just one girlfriend. No girlfriends, nothing. Just then one night met her and that was it. Settled down. Got married, had loads of kids.
Actually?
I've never kissed another woman in my life, apart from my mama.
It's fucking... Now, I don't know, but I assume that's a lie.
Just have a lot of people send in next week going, he's full of bollocks.
You bumped me last night.
I have 4 kids.
He my papa. Papa. It's just like 4 fucking caravan parks full of Paddy McDonald's.
Yeah. I never kissed him, just stuck it in, didn't I?
You fucking kiss my mother. You fucking...
But what would you, how would you float? What was your thing to do?
Main thing I would have done was I'd have picked out who I liked, and then I would have went up, and then I would have picked my ugliest, nastiest mate.
Yeah.
And I'd have went up to the girl and went, listen, I'm embarrassed for him, but he's embarrassed to come and do this. And I'll have the biggest smile, and I'll have a bit of a joke, and I would say, he wants me to ask you, will you go with him? I know I'm scunnered for him too, blah, blah, blah. And then 9 times out of 10, she would sit and talk to you for ages, and then she would eventually go, I don't like your mate, but I like you.
Aye, fair. That's a good one. See, my thing is all my mates are well taller than me, so I am the wee freak. So I'm like, my mate wants to go to they're just riding them.
Your mates are walking up and going to see wee William over there.
I'm sitting outside the bedroom.
All your mates are sitting
any
going,
minute now.
your mates are all sitting fucking listening to the podcast going, how the fucker Paddy know what we done? They're all married with kids.
I'm not the
Is
one.
all your mates married
If
with
you're
kids?
no, none of my mates are married or have kids at all.
These are all weirdos.
Welcome to the new generation, Paddy.
What age are you?
24.
And you're not married with kids?
Why the fuck would I want to be married with kids? When I was your age, I owned my own house. Yeah, that's why none of my generation can own shit. You fucked the market. You fucked that. Your generation fucked everything so bad.
So your generation
Never
said,
doing anything.
I'm living with my granny and granddad until they die and I'm going to get their flat.
Ooh, house dickhead. Ooh. Do you know what I mean? That's like I'll rent, but no fuck. I wouldn't have kids till I'm in my 30s, mid to late 30s.
You'll not have them.
I don't think. I don't want them.
Do you not?
No. No, I don't. But if I was gonna have them, it would be in the 30s.
And then you're going to be like me and have loads of kids when you're older.
Alright, okay. I hope Paddy's kids don't listen to this.
No, but you know what I mean? You're just older and it's really hard to look after them.
To me, your youth, that's when you do your shit. That's when you have your fun. Then when you're older and you're a bit more stable and you're a bit more
You're coming
wise.
out of 2 years of lockdown, dickhead. See how that worked out
Do you know
for
what I mean?
you.
But you're a bit more, you're a bit older and you're a bit wiser. That's when you should have. I think people my age having kids, I'm like, you're a fucking spastic. Why are you having kids? Oh, I'm gonna raise it. You can't raise yourself.
Do you know any Protestant families that had more than 5?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
So you thought it was a myth?
No. You're me. I'm one of 8 or 9. I
Right, okay.
can't remember. Which will play into a large part of why I don't want kids really young.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? My dad, by the time he was my age, had 5.
You would have run to the litter.
No, I was... Believe it or not, I'm actually not.
Is there a smaller one?
Yeah. Smaller, mainly. They're all my height.
Right.
We're all built the exact same, like. Do you know what I mean?
In a factory in Harlan Wolf.
Yeah.
We're all built in the shipyards over.
Literally.
My time welding us all together.
Fucking hands. Did you see that? See, like I wouldn't notice the accordion he was playing there. The first episode of the podcast, he was like, "It must be so hard being disabled." No, now as he's just going, "Fuck." No, but I'm not opposed to them. But why would you have them before you're 30? Let's just go. That's no, that is. That's telling the world I have no dreams.
I just didn't like pulling it.
We've had
A bit like the Brits.
we've had this discussion. You just hated putting it out,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
No thought process in it. Not thinking of
Shocking.
the concept. It's like the young riders who aren't thinking of the circumstances here, lads. You know what I mean?
Before you know it, you're covered in your own spunk because you're not using the right bottle.
Or you're covered in petrol. Do you think any of the riders?
Smell this
Do you think
bedroom.
any of the riders were smart enough to go and get a Tesco's club card for like all the petrol they were buying? There's like one guy standing at the pump going, like, nobody fucking, I ain't getting it, just hand me your money. And then he goes in, Nick Nobby, fucking Tesco's with his club card. And he's like, I'm taking for that. Your mum was like, that's 35,000. Yep, we cards.
And the Snickers get the points. Have we any other questions or anything else to really say? Because we're
well over time.
we could easily go do more, but I don't like.
No,
too long
we're
to be
done.
here all night.
We're done.
Well, that is us for another week. Thank you. Anything else to say, Patrick, at all?
Fuck all.
No. Thank you, and see you next week,
Yes,
guys.
good night.
Come on, get closer.